down here and fight like a man!
I don't suppose I could convince you to come up here and fight like a spider.
Does anyone else really like Spider-Man? Yo, take my guys big quiz. And like, I think it was like last year, I made a video introducing this project where I wanted to play all the Spider-Man games from the first one on the PS1 all the way down to like the Miles Morales on the PS5. And it's like a project I've been wanting to get to do forever, but I just haven't got around to it because I'm lazy. And I procrastinate a lot. But honestly, now that we're here, I honestly can't think of a better time to be a Spider-Man fan. If we're going like in chronological order, we've just had Spider-Man be like in the MCU in one of the biggest movie events of all time with Endgame. We've had Venom coming in a solo movie with a sequel that's featured Carnage and, spoiler warning, a teaser that he might end up meeting the Tom Holland Spider-Man. We've had Spider-Man No Way Home, which literally brought back the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin and Lizard and Electro and... Bro. We've had a Spider-Man game come out in 2018 that's actually considered to be one of the best Spider-Man games, if not one of the best PS4 exclusive and superhero games out ever right now, which, you know, is crazy to think about because Spider-Man games have usually been either swept under the rug or considered to be bad because of, like, let's just call them external issues. And that's exactly what I wanted to get into. I've played, I think, every Spider-Man game from the PS1 all the way to the PS5 at the time of this recording, and essentially I wanted to play through all of them again in order from the PS1 to the PS5 and give you guys a little review, and also I want to put on my tier list because I fucking love tier lists. So yeah, let's start with the first one. Let's start with Spider-Man on the PS1. So this game was released in the year 2000 by a company called Neversoft Studios and published by Activision. Yeah, Activision used to make games other than Call of Duty. This game was released on the original PlayStation and was the first third-person 3D Spider-Man game, as all the ones prior have been 2D side-scrollers and beat-em-ups. And although this was a massive leap in terms of game development, you can still see the age in this game. I mean, every face in this game just ugh. And for all of my OG Tomb Raider fans, you already know about the triangle breath and the triangle wonder, bro. Even though it's 22 years old now, this was probably one of the one or two games that I haven't actually played prior to making these reviews. And honestly, even though I'm playing a game that was made in the year 2000, I was honestly really surprised they started off making really good Spider-Man games. Straight off the rip, this game is really good. To start this off, the start menu music is actually the classic Spider-Man theme tune from the 1960s. Yeah, that one. And because you needed a memory card back in those days, you actually have to create like a manual save file. And for the first Easter egg of this game, if you actually enter a rude word as the save file, Spider-Man will like come up and like punch it, letting you know that you can't use that word. I use it for a bunch of swear words and just see what they would accept and what they wouldn't accept. Each level comes with its own comic book cover, which can be viewed back in the main menu, which is probably the second best way this game introduces you to the world. The first is that the entire game is narrated by Stan Lee. Like, honestly, this opening monologue made me believe that it's actually up to me to save this city.
Welcome, true believers and newcomers alike. Spider-Man co-creator Stan Lee here. Once again, we find our hero Peter Parker, better known around the world as the Amazing Spider-Man, in a heap of trouble. But this is just the beginning, Spidey fans. So get ready for a true superhero action thriller, packed to the brim with thrills and chills, twists and turns, more supervillains than you can shake a web at, and of course, non-stop web-slinging, wall-crawling action.
The tutorial mission has Black Cat teaching you about the basics of the game, such as the health and web cartridges. In this, the web cartridges are like scarce and you get like a maximum of 10. And if you run out, then there are certain moves that you just can't use.
Not enough webbing.
There's also a Spidey compass in the bottom right hand corner, and if you don't go in the direction that the compass is facing, Spidey will subtly clown you into going in the right direction.
Follow my Spidey compass. Okay, newsflash. You gotta follow the Spidey compass. Hello? Gotta follow the Spidey compass.
The fighting in this game has honestly not changed too much from like the games that have a similar sort of fighting style. You press square to punch, circle to kick, and you can have a 3-hit combo of literally any combination of those buttons. And although you can complete the game by just smashing square, you can create your own finesse by mixing things up. I think the thing that separates Spider-Man from any other superhero is the webs. And they did a very good job of making webs in this game really OP. To start, if you hold triangle on a human enemy, he instantly just doesn't become a problem anymore. He'll just like be entangled in the web and just like fade away into nothing. If you press triangle at the same time as any one of the D-pad buttons, you actually get given a different web attack. Web and up shoots an impact web bomb, which is incredibly OP. Web and the right button will create a web dome which explodes, injuring enemies around you. And triangle and left gives you web fist, which basically doubles your damage. And much like with the punches and kicks, you can also chain web attacks as part of your combos. Another pivotal thing for Spider-Man games is the swinging, and it's okay, not really. Webs don't stick to anything. You can only shoot like 2 web lines before Spider-Man just lets the depression sink in and just gives up, falling to his death. But it's somewhat magnetic, so if you're facing in the direction of a wall that Spider-Man can stick to, he'll sort of like steer in that direction. So you don't have to be too careful with aiming. The same goes for trying to shoot specific things with your webs. This game was made on a console that originally didn't have joysticks, which means this game doesn't have a free camera. The camera just fixes to the direction that Spidey is looking. Unless you hold L1, which brings up this crosshair, which if green allows you to swing or zip straight to that specific point. I can think of one particular level where this was absolutely necessary, but when I did need to use it, I was glad that the devs understood the limitations of traversing through a 3D landscape without proper control of your camera. You can also web zip straight up by pressing R1 if there's a roof or something within reach. In the first level, you have to zip into a bunch of vents to get through a building, and the way that the game tells you that there's a vent directly above you is that there's grates on the floor. And how are we supposed to know that the grate signals a vent above you? When Spider-Man enters the building, it's through a vent that drops the grate onto the ground before zipping down. Honestly, I thought this was one of the smartest ways of subtly giving a tutorial on how to complete a couple of the levels. And speaking of the level design is easily the best thing about this game. You need good level design in order to have a good game, especially in a linear non-open world game, where the levels is literally all you have. I feel like I've said the word level a bit too much. But yeah, every level in this game is unique from each other. No 2 level gimmicks are repeated. You go from swinging between rooftops to saving hostages, disposing a bomb, racing against the clock to get to the Daily Bugle, have a boss battle with Scorpion while he tries to attack Jameson, run away from the police choppers as they fire rockets at buildings in New York. I guess pre-9/11 New York, this wasn't such a big deal. Fight Rhino by making him run at you full speed in either explosive barrels or electric pillars. Wonder where you got that idea from, Arkham. Have a chase with Venom. Honestly, this level. I spent 40 minutes trying to do this level. The no camera control and only 2 web swings really make this level suck donkey dick. Fight Venom as he tries to sneak up on you while invisible. Fighting lizards in the sewer. Have a survival level on top of a train. Fight Venom again as he tries to drown Mary Jane, who, oh my god, why does she look like that? Fight symbiote zombies while going around trying to destroy their generators. Quick side note, you also get introduced to the fire webbing in this game, which completely obliterates the symbiotes. Like, it makes it effortless. Fight Large Mysterio at 3 different levels. Fight Doc Ock by shutting off a shield. Fight Carnage using sonic domes to weaken him. And have an intense chase away from Doc Ock, who's been infected with this Carnage symbiote. That's actually exclusive to this game. I don't think that's ever been done before. And after that, the leg gets blown up and you get picked up in the Quinjet by... What? Captain America's in this game?
Hey, Spidey, can you get us Captain America's autograph?
Oh, brother.
So that was the first Spider-Man game. And it was a good one. There were a bunch of Easter eggs and secrets I didn't get to mention in the main body of the video, such as the numerous cameos from other Marvel characters like how Daredevil comes questioning Spidey, who's being framed in the story, and Punisher, who was hired to take out the guy framing Spider-Man. And also you get a cameo from Johnny Storm, who, if you don't know, is actually Spider-Man's best friend in the comics. There's also a cameo of the Lizard, who isn't an enemy in this game, but it gives you an explanation as to where the lizard monsters in the sewer are coming from. You can even see the Baxter building in the first level, where Peter mentions how he could use the Fantastic Four's help if you land on the building.
Man, looks like the Fantastic Four aren't around right now.
This is also the first place where you get the main optional collectible, which are these comic books, which all look like Amazing Fantasy number 15, which is Spider-Man's first appearance. But when you go through them in the menu, it's some of the most iconic Spider-Man stories with a brief description of what the story is about. Another collectible are these tokens, which change your costume to the Iron Spider, which doubles your health. There are these little bits in the game I really like, such as how Spider-Man sleeps upside down if you don't move around for a while, which I found this to be hilarious when I was younger. Like, I don't know why, I just remember this from the game, because I just remember how funny it was. There's also a plethora of cheats that allow you to view all the character files, which are also narrated by Stan Lee.
Peter Parker's alter ego, the amazing Spider-Man. Spidey's wall-crawling and web-slinging, combined with his super strength and amazing agility, make old Webhead one of the most spectacular superheroes around.
As well as all the other costumes you can go back and replay the levels with. And they all come with different attributes, like how the symbiote Spider-Man has unlimited webbing, or like how playing as just Peter Parker only allows you to carry a maximum of 2 cartridges. Yeah, some of the attributes are bad. At the end of the game, you see all the heroes playing poker, and you have Punisher accusing Daredevil of looking at his cards. Bro, how is he even looking at his own cards?
You've been looking at my cards all night.
I don't need to look at your cards, Punisher. Your bluffs are so obvious.
Okay. Let's keep this a nice, friendly, clean game.
Who keeps inviting this guy?
Hey, will you guys keep it down?
Hey, loosen up, kids. I'm on fire!
Wait, hold on. Time out. All of you guys were working together, and you still couldn't take down Spider-Man.
Hey, wait! So, I'm a rhino, you're a scorpion, and he's an octopus. What's a Mysterio?
So, Rhino, you got any threes?
Hey! Hey, I got a bingo! Ha ha! You guys think you're so smart, but I won! Ha! Who's your daddy, Doc Ock? Ha ha ha! Victory is mine! You're always laughing at me, but who's crying now, huh? Ha 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 ha! Wait a minute, I made a mistake.